Hey, welcome back to AIDol. So in the last episode, we met up with Yuko and talked about her hatred for virtual idols like Aiko. We actually also found out that Kazuki might have had something to do with Aiko's malfunction yesterday. I don't know, what's his motive behind that? Let's find out. It's pretty light on the ground in here. Sheena is still feeling under the weather, and Maeda had to attend a wedding on the other side of the country. She won't be back for a few days. I get that, but... Hideki glances around the PR office. It's so quiet, one could almost hear a pin drop, which seems bizarre. Where's Ryuichi and Kenji? Ever since Hideki read the headline in the newspapers that morning, he's been unable to stop shaking. Yeah, the scandal. Of course it would get out. He knew it would get out. Any news related to virtual idols goes global within a matter of minutes, particularly when things go wrong. It's always the bad news people obsess over, never the good. People love despair and misery. Thanks to that headline, the PR team are going to be busier than usual. At least they should be. So why is Sayori the only one here? Where's Kenji? After everything that happened yesterday, I think he's going to be taking 1 or 2 days off. Yesterday, huh? Hideki ponders. He wasn't around to witness Kenji and Misaki's argument, but he heard about it from Ryuichi. Misaki stole the tablet. Hori Misaki? Hideki doesn't know Misaki well, but he's vaguely familiar with her from her days as a model. She had a sweet, youthful face. Kenji must be quite upset about it. Misaki too. She spent the night sleeping in a spare futon on my bedroom floor. Oh, are you and Misaki friends? Ever since college. Sayori shakes her head. I told her dating Kenji was a mistake, but she didn't listen to me. I'm impressed she managed to stay with him for so long. I don't think I'd be able to last 5 minutes. It's a good thing Kenji wouldn't consider dating you then, isn't it? Yeah, I guess I'm pretty lucky. Hideki glances around about the office. He runs a hand through his hair. Excuse me. Well, I know Kenji doesn't like me very much, and he can be kinda grumpy, but I hope he's alright. I hope so too. Kenji isn't a bad person per se. He's more of a coward. A coward, Kenji? He acts tough, like a lot of men do, but it's just a front. He's quite sensitive deep down inside. I think that's what drew Misaki to him. She saw something beneath the surface a lot of people don't, but, well, this is for them to work out, not me. Even though Misaki is staying in your home? Misaki isn't without her flaws either. And what are those? She snores. She does? Hori Misaki, the model? She sounds like a freight train. It's horrifying. I thought you looked tired. Well, it's because of that, and the Aiko situation. And what about Ryuichi? Where's he? With the tech team. He's trying to find a way to trace the location of the missing tablet. Uh-oh. Ah, makes sense. Hideki looks at Sayori. Her face is pale and there are deep bags beneath her eyes. She looks so defeated. Is this the power of Hori Misaki's snoring? It must be a truly destructive force. Do you want me to make you a coffee? I thought the espresso machine was broken. And Hideki was the one who broke it. His cursed fingers seem to short-circuit every electronic device he touches. Hideki blushes. It was broken, but I think Ryuichi got someone to fix it before the Idol Fest. He said we need it. That was unusually forward-thinking of him. Well, if you don't mind, I'd be more than happy to accept your generous offer. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I think I could use the energy. Right, I'll whip you something up right away. Hideki makes his way to the espresso machine when... Alright everyone, listen up. The door to the office is thrown open and Ryuichi enters with a dramatic flourish. Like Sari, he looks a touch worse for wear. His skin is pale and his eyes dark from a lack of sleep, but he walks away with a spring to his step. Must be good news. We're going on a business trip. A trip? Mm-hmm. You can step away from the espresso machine, Hideki. We can pick up some better coffee in situ. Where are we going? Did you manage to track the location of the tablet? Ryuichi grins. Wouldn't you like to know? Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry, but I don't have the time for this. I have work to do. I know, but listen to me. I did listen. I heard your story, and intriguing though it is, I think you have the wrong person. We wasted all that time running here. But you said, it said you in Aiko's file. That has to be you. Oh, Hana, sweetie. Hana, look, I know you care about Aiko, and I sympathize with your plight. I'm rather fond of Aiko myself, but I'm not a programmer. I work at a cafe. An idol themed cafe. Because that's what sells. Idols are popular. But I just thought, that character, it's just a coincidence. But don't you know how many people in Fukuoka have you in their names? It's very commonplace. There must be hundreds upon hundreds, maybe even thousands. It's a big place. There's tons of people. He's right, of course. I know he's right. This was just a wild stab in the dark. I got excited when I discovered the connection and raced off to the... well, not scene of the crime, but Yuichi's cafe in an instant. I thought I'd connected the dots, solved the equation, discovered the truth. Evidently not. In real life, things don't work out quite that easily. Right. I'm sorry. I take the tablet and turn it off. I thought showing Yuichiro some of the files on the device would make him talk, provided, of course, that he really is Aiko's programmer. But he remained tight-lipped and unresponsive. He's been tight-lipped, his expression stony and dour ever since I showed him the tablet. I guess I was just getting in his way. I hope I didn't bother you too much. It's fine, Hana. You came all this way because you love Aiko, right? It's understandable, and I admire your perseverance. Really, I do. I'm sorry there's not much more I can do to help. No, it's fine. I was jumping to conclusions. I got a bit too excited, I guess. I'm the one who should be sorry. I really am. Don't look so down. You should never apologize about caring. We all need to care for others a little bit more. Tell you what, I can give you something to go if you want. A hot chocolate, on the house. How does that sound? Oh no, I couldn't. It's alright, I insist. It's my way of apologizing. You have nothing to apologize for. I'm the one who inconvenienced you. But I couldn't help you. I know this isn't what you came here for, but I make quite good hot cocoa. It's the least I can do, really. Well, if you're sure. I'm sure. I won't be a minute. I take a seat at the nearest table. I set the tablet on the table and my bag on the floor. Oof, you're in trouble, Hana. Yuichiro hums as he sets to work. His fingers move swiftly and skillfully. I tilt my head to one side, elbow on the table, hand supporting my skull, and watch him. Of course he isn't a programmer. He's a barista. The two professions are worlds apart. How can preparing warm drinks be comparable to programming a popular, high-class idol like Aiko? But he really is good with his hands. His movements are deft. He doesn't waste a single motion. Watching him is almost hypnotizing. It's as I'm thinking this that the bell over the door jingles. A new customer? I don't think so, Hana. No. 3 new customers. That's it. It's really it. The tablet. What did I tell you? I'm never wrong. Customers that I recognize. I've seen them before. I saw them at the AIDol Fest. It's 3 members of the PR team. Hideki, Sayori, and Ryuichi. They're looking at me. I look back at them. The tablet must have some kind of tracking device built in. It must have activated the moment I switched it on. Now they've come for me. Maybe Aiko's involvement yesterday interfered with the tracking device and intercepted the signals. But without Aiko's aid, my location was exposed. I swallow. So that's the end of that. They'll take the tablet and maybe I'll get arrested and everything will come to an end. I'm sorry, Aiko. I really am sorry. Oh, well. Look who it is. But Ryuichi, to my surprise, is no longer looking at me. He's staring at the counter. No, beyond the counter. At the person behind it. He's looking at Yuichiro. Ah, what a liar. Oh my, I was bamboozled. I was tricked. The 5 of us, Yuichiro, Ryuichi, Sayori, Hideki, and I, are sitting around a wooden table in the corner of the cafe. The cafe is small and the tables weren't designed for parties bigger than 4, so it's a bit of a tight squeeze. Hideki's knees is pressed against mine, and he apologizes with a flustered face whenever we touch. It would be kind of endearing if I didn't feel so tense. It's a good thing Yuichiro had the foresight to flip the sign on the cafe door to close before we conversed, to ensure we don't get interrupted at an inopportune moment. Said inopportune moment began being the reveal that Sato Yuichiro really is Aiko's head programmer. Why would he lie to us? Yuichiro looks away awkwardly, scratching his cheek with one finger. He seems a little even more uncomfortable than Hideki. Alright, fine. That's right. I am, or was, rather, Aiko's head programmer. But I'm not anymore. Now I just work at this cafe. That's why I am here, but... Yuichiro glances at Ryuichi. Why are you here? We came to get the tablet back. We had no idea this was where you worked. It was quite the coincidence. Huh? Do you 3 know each other? We know one another very well. The 3 of us go way back. Ryuichi's exaggerating. We're on first-name terms, but we are hardly close friends. We simply happen to work in lyric together, though Yuichiro worked in a different department. How cold, Sayori. Don't dismiss our relationship so casually. What of all those Christmas parties we spent getting to know each other? Really? From what I recall, all you ever got to know during those parties was a bottle of Choryu. Hey, don't be like that. We're pals, right? I don't know if that's a word I would use. Acquaintances, then? We know of each other. That's about it. Man. Ryuichi laughs and runs a hand through his hair. You're even colder than Sayori. I apologize that I don't find your lackluster, half-hearted attempts at flirtation worthy of praise or merit. Ryuichi whistles. I'm getting roasted here. You can do it? Hang in there, Ryuichi. Oh, he's so supportive. So, if you really are Aiko's programmer, why did you lie to me? Isn't it obvious? I didn't want you getting involved in all this. Petty office drama? Ryuichi can be quite difficult to deal with. Hey, I resent that. See, in any event, even if I was Aiko's programmer once, I'm not right now. Like I said, this has nothing to do with me. You should drink your hot cocoa, by the way. I might be a third-rate programmer, but I pride myself in being a first-rate barista. It would be embarrassing if I hadn't picked up a few tricks of the trade over the last few months. I appreciate it, but I didn't come here to drink hot cocoa. I came here to ask you, no, implore you, to fix Aiko. Hana. Like I said, even if I wanted to, I can't. I don't work at Lyric. Aiko's files are classified information. You could get arrested for having that tablet, and I don't want a criminal record. On top of your existing criminal record, you mean? What? Ryuichi? Yuichiro shoots Ryuichi a withering look. Ryuichi returns it with an easy smile and a shrug of his shoulders. What are you talking about? You have a criminal record? Though, no fault of my own. It sure sounded like it was your fault to me, buddy. That's what the president said, but it wasn't true. I did nothing wrong. Excuse me. I'm a little confused here. Right, I forgot. You joined Lyric after a whole debacle with the Yuichiro, and the company kept it pretty hush-hush. Unlike Aiko's malfunction yesterday, it certainly didn't end up on the front page of any newspaper. Perhaps it'd be better if you started from the top, Ryuichi. Nah, I'd rather not. It's a sensitive story. I think it requires a woman's touch. Unless you'd prefer to do the honors, Yuichiro. I have precisely zero interest in reveling in my sordid past. I'm sure Sairi could sum it up more succinctly than me. Well then, let me see. I only know of a few of the details, so it might not be entirely accurate. Sairi clears her throat. Yuichiro joined Lyric 5 years ago. He was one of the pioneers of virtual reality idols, alongside his co-worker, Kazuki. The two of them worked on Aiko, Lyric's first virtual idol, together. Though Yuichiro, with more experience, was the one in charge. The details of Aiko's origins were strictly confidential, of course. Lyric was worried rival companies would attempt to steal the blueprints. As such, the true identities of Aiko's assembly team were kept under wraps. Come to think of it, I'm breaking all kinds of confidentiality clauses merely telling you this. It's fine, I figured it out myself already. You really are a sharp girl. I could tell the moment I set my eyes on you. Just think, you would have gotten away with your lies and deception if it wasn't for this meddling kid. Ryuichi. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Go on, Sairi. Right. So Yuichiro managed the Aiko project for 3 years. She was finally completed in August, and then unveiled to the public. I'm sure you know this better than anybody, Hana, but she was an instant success. Her records sold out within minutes, and her concerts were fully booked. She did a lot better than anybody had ever imagined. Yuichiro received a lot of praise for his close involvement with the project. Yuichiro is the reason why Lyric has enjoyed such success these last 2 years. Oh, stop it, Sairi. You're flattering me. I'm doing nothing of the sort. I don't say things for the sake of saying them. I always tell the truth. She's right, you know. You haven't heard her fending off my advances before. She's brutal. Well, you deserve it. Ryuichi can be quite difficult to deal with. It's nice to know some things don't change. We haven't even had the pleasure of seeing him at the Christmas party after a few glasses of Choryu. I'll look forward to it. Don't try and tank my reputation, Yuichiro. I'm the face of Lyric's PR team. And you're doing an excellent job of it, allowing headlines like this. Yuichiro reaches to the counter. He fishes up a crumpled newspaper and slaps it down on the table before us. To get printed. The newspaper stares back at me. It's emblazoned with the headline that caused me so much grief during breakfast. Yes, the scandal. I bite my lower lip. Ryuichi, too, looks suitably cowed. For once. He laughs awkwardly, running a hand through his fashionable hair. That was just bad luck. Bad luck? A tiny oversight. You let Aiko break down on stage and you call it an oversight? Really? Come on, I'm not a member of the tech team. I'm not smart like you guys. With your code and your numbers and your if-then statements. All I know is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, let me perform on stage anyway and hope nothing bad happens. Hey, you got me. Yuichiro Tuts. You're the worst. I pour all this hard work into Aiko and you ruin her reputation over something trivial like this. Ahem. If you are quite finished assigning blame, I would like to finish the story. Hana and Hideki are still in the dark. Of course, I'm sorry. Please go ahead. Well, following Aiko's development, Yuichiro became very well respected within Lyric. He was the employee of the year, so to speak. He could do no wrong. He was involved in the development of a few other virtual idols following Aiko's success, Vespa and Naomi to name two. Because of Aiko's revenue stream, Lyric even began to employ more regular idols, ordinary girls who they claimed they could transform into stars overnight. Girls like Yuko? Lyric has always financed real idols. It was a company that specialized in human idols long before it began its research into artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, they were never as popular or profitable as Aiko. Aiko changed everything for us. It looked like everything was going so well. But then a huge scandal happened. I am unclear on the precise details, given it was kept so quiet, but it seems Yuichiro was found guilty of leaking important, top-secret files. This breach of security was unacceptable, so Yuichiro was fired. Just like that? Just like that. After everything he did? Lyric's president is quite the imposing figure. If Yuichiro was not responsible for the majority of Lyric's success, he would have faced an even more severe punishment. The president made sure to impress that knowledge upon me. He told me I should be grateful. Grateful. As if I should be grateful he let me go, particularly when I did nothing wrong. He didn't? No, it was all a scam. I didn't leak those files. But you're one of the only people who had access to them. I don't understand who else it could have been. I have a few suspects. Like Kazuki? Not that it matters, I suppose. It's too late now. I've already been fired and I'm legally required to stay away from the Lyric headquarters. It's over. So that explains why Yuichiro lied to me. It wasn't simply for my sake. He doesn't want to get dragged back into this conflict. To a certain extent, I understand how he feels, but it's not over. Excuse me? I said it isn't over. I grabbed the newspaper from the table and thrust it in Yuichiro's face. Look, Aiko's in danger. There's something wrong with her and she needs you to fix her. She doesn't need me. I'm sure it's a small bug that got out of hand. Another member of the tech team can handle it. Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that actually. What? The tech team have been having problems with her for a while. Ever since you left, actually. It seems like somebody's been tampering with her files, but whoever it is did a pretty good job at covering their tracks. We were thinking, if there are any complications at Idolfest, we might have to shut Aiko down. No. That's right. Sad but true. Nobody needs a virtual idol who can't perform. She'd be a waste of resources, worth less of the material used to make her. But he can't. You can't get rid of Aiko. We don't want to either, but if nobody Lyric can fix her... I stare at Yuichiro, clasping my hands together. I can feel my heart pounding. Yuichiro, please. You're the one who made her. You might be the only one who can fix her. And I promised Aiko. I told her I would help. I have to help, but I can't do it on my own. Hana, I understand that you feel strongly about this, but like I said, it's not possible. I can't go back to Lyric. I don't want to. There are too many bad memories associated with that place. Like me during the Christmas parties, you mean? A brief smile lights on Yuichiro's face, but it vanishes within seconds. I just can't, Hana. Like Ryuichi said, I already have a criminal record. It would be too dangerous. But you said you didn't leak those files. I didn't. Then you need to prove your innocence. You can't clear your name if you sit in this cafe for the rest of your life. Yuichiro shakes his head. I thought about getting revenge, of course. I was outraged, infuriated. I wanted nothing more than to strike back at Lyric. I built them up with my own 2 hands, and then they turned against me. They betrayed me. But that anger soon faded away. I realized something. What? My own powerlessness. I'm just one man. Lyric is a whole company. When it comes to a contest of he said, she said, might is always right. If Lyric have decided that I leaked the files, who am I to protest? There's no way for me to clear my name, and even if there was, the damage has already been done. I'm too old for all this nonsense. I just want to spend the rest of my days in peace. Too old, he says. Ryuichi snorts. He looks unconvinced. You're younger than I am. Yes, well, you've always tried to pretend you're 10 or 20 years younger than you really are. He has no idea what it means to age gracefully. Stop that, you two. I'm only in my early 40s. You act like I have 1 foot in the grave already. There are decades left in me yet. Wait, what? You're in your 40s? Surprised? He still thinks he's a young man, Hideki. He wishes he was your age. Shh. I never waste my time wishing I was something I'm not. I'm happy being me. Sure, sometimes it's kind of stressful. He gestures towards the newspaper. But at the end of the day, it's not bad. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I know who I am, Yuichiro. But who are you? Yuichiro glances away. He bites on his lower lip. You can play at being a barista all you want, but that's not where your true passions lie. I know. You talked to me a couple times about Aiko, when you're still in the process of building her up, and I've never seen anybody sound so enthusiastic. But that was a long time ago. It isn't who I am now. Then why did you list your cafe as a virtual idol cafe? Excuse me? You say you're finished with idols. You don't want anything to do with them anymore. And if that was true, I'd understand, but you listed your cafe as an idol cafe. I already told you that's for the business, I know. But I don't believe you. You listed your cafe as an idol cafe because deep down inside, you still love idols. You still love Aiko. She's like a daughter to you, and you don't want her to get shut down. She doesn't want to get shut down either. She told me. What do you mean? I pull my phone out of my pocket and tap on the Paku Paku icon. Then I shift through my chat history with Heartsong. I scroll through the reams upon reams of messages we've been exchanging during the last week. When she first found about my contact details, I was skeptical at first. Anybody would be. I don't know if it's enough to convince Yuichiro, but if he's the one who programmed her, he should be able to tell. It's Aiko. It's definitely Aiko. Read the logs. You'll understand. I hand my phone over to Yuichiro. He looks suspicious, as well he might, but he accepts. His eyes flick from right to left as he reads through my conversations with Heartsong, his finger occasionally tapping against the screen as he scrolls down. Oh, what's this? A chat log? From Heartsong, huh? No, that sounds familiar. Heartsong. Yuichiro's fingers tremble. That was Aiko's name during the early development stages. The Artificial Intelligence Idol Project, Beta Subject Number 1, Heartsong. Huh? Well, I didn't know that. Me neither. Well, you wouldn't. This information wasn't released to the public. It was private. So how does this person know? Because it really is Aiko. She was messaging me over the last 2 weeks because she wanted to find you. She was scared and confused, and nobody at Lyric could help her. She wanted to see your programmer again, but she couldn't remember who you were. That sounds like something the president would do. I was in disgrace after all. He didn't want Aiko to remember me. He didn't want her to contact me. All my ties with Lyric were severed, and even Aiko. I never forgot her, but she forgot me. But she didn't. She remembered. That's why she went through all these lengths to find you. She knew you're the only person who could fix her. But I can't. Come on, Yuichiro. I know you think I'm an idiot, and maybe I kinda am. But I'm at least smart enough to know this much. Oops. Ryuichi rests a hand against Yuichiro's shoulder. Is it supposed to be comforting? You're the right person for this job. But Lyric, they won't let me back in the building. Maybe not if you're on your own, but you're forgetting who I am. A flamboyant old man who doesn't know when to give up? That too. But I'm also the head of the PR team. I have some authority over there, and I can get you in. I'm sure of it. I don't know. Oh, come on. What have you got left to lose? Well, you gotta get arrested. This place brings back memories. Good memories, I hope. Just memories. Yuichiro sighs and shakes his head. I never thought I'd come back here. I never thought I'd want to either. It's kind of imposing, huh? I'm inclined to agree. Though the Lyric headquarters are fairly humble as far as office buildings go, the numerous glass windows really give it a sleek, modern feel. The sunlight reflects upon the multiple panes of glass, making them shimmer. This is the place where Aiko was created, and I'm standing next to the person who created her, Sato Yuichiro. Alright, that's enough standing around. Let's go. Yuichiro takes a step forwards, his head held high. The four of us follow along behind him. Yuichiro is still dressed in the garb of a barista, but he walks with such confidence it's impossible to doubt him. The automatic doors slide open, granting us entrance to Lyric's reception room. Security guards stand by the elevators to the left and right of the room. The desk, meanwhile, is manned by a very pretty receptionist with carefully applied makeup. I recognize her. It's the same clerk I met last week. Hello, and welcome to Lyric. I hope you have a nice day. Same to you, sweetheart. Ryuichi winks at her. The clerk's perfect smile falters for a few moments. Is she trying to hold back a small sigh? Ryuichi seems none the wiser. He nods to himself, smiling proudly. Yep, I've still got it. If by it you mean an innate ability to make women cross over to the other side of the road when they see your face. Oh, come on, Sayori, don't be such a killjoy. There is no road. It was a figure of speech. Oh my, and I recognize you, of course, young miss. The clerk peers at me, her smile, though severely tested, now shinier than ever before. You do? Of course, you're the girl who came in here a while ago asking about any upcoming AIDol events, aren't you? Or Aiko events. Yes, you gave me a poster. I didn't think you'd recognize me. I always remember a face, and you were very polite. I couldn't help but recall you, and yet... The clerk glances at Ryuichi. What are you doing with Mr. Kitamura? He didn't kidnap you, did he? Don't be like that, Kotomi. You know I'd never do anything cruel. Yes, well, forgive me if I don't trust you. I've had to deal with your pickup lines every single morning for the last 5 months. Oh, come on. You love it, really. I really don't. Women. Never satisfied. I don't know how Kenji managed it for so long. Anyway, Kotomi, I'd love to stay and chat, but we have business to attend to. With this girl? I'll make sure he doesn't do anything inappropriate, Gotomi. You have my word. Well, if you're with him, Sayori, I'm sure you can keep him in line. And I'll do my best too. Oh, yes he will, Hideki. Oh, that's sweet of you, Hideki, but you're not the most imposing of people. If anybody can keep Kitamura in check, it's Sayori. Ryuichi clicks his tongue against the roof of his mouth. Why are you talking about me like I'm some kind of criminal? I'm not like Yuichiro. Yuichiro's eyes darken. That's a low blow, and entirely uncalled for. Now, let's go. Yuichiro stalks on ahead. We follow him, Ryuichi mumbling mutinously under his breath the whole time, while Kotomi implores us to have a nice day. She's so sweet. One of the security guards by the elevator gives Yuichiro a glare, but Ryuichi flashes his ID and says, "He's with me. Authorizes access." The security guard ponders for a few moments, but Ryuichi's role as the head of the PR department wins out in the end. The guard sighs and stands to one side, arms folded. If anything goes wrong, Kitamura, I'm not going to be held responsible. Don't worry about it. I have it all under control. For your sake, you better. You're already in hot water. I know. Geez, stop getting on my case when I'm trying to fix things. We step into the elevator and wait for a few moments, cramped together in awkward silence. Ryuichi tries to make small talk, but Yuichiro seems more interested in staring at the wall. His expression is inscrutable. I wonder, is he lost in nostalgia? Maybe he's thinking about the days gone by, when he was still respected by Lyric and didn't have to worry about being chased out like a criminal. No, not just like a criminal. He really is a criminal. Yuichiro taps one foot against the floor, anxious, unable to stand still. Not even Ryuichi's jokes are enough to disperse the heavy atmosphere. And we're here. The elevator dings. A group steps out onto the 7th floor. The programming department, apparently, or at least a portion of it. Ooh. The corridors are lined with glassy windows. Sunlight streams in, illuminating specks of dust that drift lazily in the air. There's some recording equipment scattered here and there. Maybe Lyric were busy setting up for some kind of photo shoot. A strange smell hangs in the air. It's a little different from the aroma of coffee that lingered in the foyer. Is it disinfectant? It kind of reminds me of a hospital. I never thought I'd miss the smell of this place. I certainly don't. I hate coming here. Well, excuse me for being sentimental. I did work here for almost 5 years. Wow. Hideki glances around the hallway with wide eyes. He looks impressed. I've never been on this floor before. I had no idea so bright? That's right. There's so many windows and it's so light. It's kind of pretty. I can see my face in all these windows. The PR department, meanwhile, is falling apart. It's all favoritism. The programming department demands a far higher budget. The work done here is a lot more complex and requires seasoned professionals. Any idiot can work in PR. Ahem. Sari coughs delicately. Well, maybe not anyone, but just one look at Ryuichi should prove my point. You hardly need to be a rocket scientist to deal with public relations. I suppose not. I wonder how he's able to become our boss. It's people skills, Sari. Charisma and confidence. And good looks don't hurt either. I'm more inclined to call it nepotism. Call it whatever you want, but I'm still your boss. You might think I'm an idiot, Ryuichiro, but I'm an idiot who is at least able to hold on to my job. Ooh. Yuichiro looks at Ryuichi. Ryuichi looks back at him. Yuichiro breathes in, he clears his throat, he opens his mouth. And then... Alright, fine, point taken. He shakes his head, and the tense atmosphere is dispersed almost instantly. I don't have enough time to argue with you. If Aiko really is in danger, I need to see her as soon as possible. A venerable viewpoint. Let's go. Right. Oh, and Hideki? Don't touch anything. We all know how good you are with technology. Some of the equipment in here is rather expensive. If you break it, your life would no longer be worth living. Eep. Oh, we set off down the hallway. I spent much of my time glancing about, staring. I can't believe it. I'm inside the Lyric headquarters. I'm inside the place where they made Aiko. I'm so close to her, I can almost taste it. Or maybe that's just the strong scent of disinfectant in the air. Are you alright, Hana? I'm fine. To tell you the truth, I feel a little out of my element myself. I mean, I'm only an intern. Is it even alright for me to be in here? I hope I don't break anything. You better not. For your sake, Hideki, I hope you don't break anything either. Duly noted. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll keep an eye on you. Thanks, Sayori. The corridor stretches on and on. I've only been walking for 20 seconds, but it feels like an eternity. My footsteps sound far too loud. They agitate my ears. I can hear my heart thumping. Can everybody else? We're almost there. Just a little further, and then... But Yuichiro's voice breaks off. He comes to a halt. One of the doors to our right has opened, and a man steps out. It's a man I haven't seen before, but my colleagues all seem familiar with him, even Hideki. Mr. Hamura. This man, Mr. Hamura, is tall and imposing, a few inches shy of Ryuichi. His eyes are cold and hard, like shards of ice have been inserted inside his pupils. They grow colder and harder still when they settle upon Yuichiro. Yuichiro, what on earth are you doing here? Yuichiro doesn't waver. He replies without missing a beat. Aiko called for me. She said she was in trouble. Aiko? That's right. She was searching for me. In desperation, she sent messages to this girl's phone. He gestures towards me, even though that's in a direct violation of her core personality code. Virtual idols aren't meant to share classified information with the general public. It's strictly forbidden. It's true. Aiko sought me out. She talked to me. She asked me to help her. She asked me to help her find a programmer. Yuichiro. But that is impossible. Aiko shouldn't have been able to act outside her set parameters. You're forgetting who created her, Kazuki. Despite her sweet demeanor, she's always had a bit of a stubborn streak. Mr. Hamura, or should I say, Kazuki, opens and closes his mouth. For a few moments, he seems stuck for words. When he finally forces them out, they sound almost pained. But how could Aiko contact you? You were fired for gross misconduct, Yuichiro. All information pertaining to your identity should have been wiped from her hard drive. She was meant to believe I was her head programmer. She was reprogrammed to contact me whenever she had an issue, and not send messages to an unrelated third party, especially not a young girl. I supervised her reprogramming myself. How could this have happened? It's quite simple, really. You didn't do a thorough enough job. Virtual idols aren't mere tools we can control. They have wills of their own. I crafted Aiko's personality, so I know. Even if you reprogram her, she won't lose what makes her Aiko. She'll never forget that she's my rebellious, hard-headed daughter, even if she forgets who I am. I suppose it's understandable that you would forget this, Kazuki. I was always the superior programmer. That's why I was the one in charge of Aiko's creation, not you. Kazuki grits his teeth together. Was he jealous? And you've always held it over me, haven't you? I don't have anything to hold over you now. I was fired for gross misconduct, as you said, and you were able to remain here. Isn't that what you wanted? Now you don't have to share your success with anybody else. Kazuki takes a step back. The shards of ice in his eyes seem to have melted. He doesn't look angry anymore. Instead, he looks hurt. You think that's what this is about? You think I was jealous? Isn't that it? Isn't that why you framed me? Silence. And then... no way! Ooh, this is getting interesting. Ryuichi... ow! Saria gives Ryuichi's right ear a pinch. The head of the PR department winces. Alright, fine. I see you bear some feelings of resentment towards me, Yuichiro, and after what I did, I don't blame you. But... wait, he actually admitted to it? I was never jealous of you. I respected you. I looked up to you. Then why? Kazuki closes his eyes. His head hangs. I did it for her sake. I did it for Rei. Okay. That makes sense. Huh. 2 years ago. Oh, the doll lay on the floor, its eyes closed. Its long lashes were matted together, its soft pink hair brushing its cheeks. It was the first creation to come from Lyric's artificial intelligence idol project, Heart Song. Though it looked undeniably female, Kazuki could not truly call it a her. It was nothing more than a hollow, empty husk, devoid of life. It looked human, but that was nothing more than a ruse. No human would be able to lie on the cold, hard floor for such an extended period of time, legs sticking out at such awkward angles. It would have been too uncomfortable. Heart Song, however, did not need to worry about such creature comforts because it was not human. It was something entirely different. Though Kazuki had helped oversee the protection of this creature, he was more hesitant around it than anybody else. He knew, though others might not, that this shell, no matter how expertly crafted, was hollow. Even if it one day obtained life, it would not be real life. It would be a life created from chips and circuitry. Its neural pathways were composed of wires. It looked disconcertingly lifelike, but that only made its existence even more disturbing. Its hair had been harvested from a real human. This hair had been sewn into the creature's scalp, follicle by follicle, to create one of the most expensive and convincing wigs there was. Its individual eyelashes and eyebrows had been inserted into its skin, one by one, and sewn carefully into place. Its skin had been specially designed to flesh out the cheeks, the nose, and the tips of the ears when it became too cold, with microscopic sensors embedded beneath its flesh. That is some high-tech stuff. It did not look perfect. It was far from perfect. Its cheeks were round, its teeth were not evenly spaced, and its lips would chap in the cold. But that's what made it, in Yuichiro's words, human. Humans were not perfect after all. But this falsely constructed facsimile only made Kazuki distrust the creature even more. If it had looked perfect, like some of the other virtual idols produced by rival companies, Kazuki would have minded less. Perfection, in all its unconvincingly mask-like beauty, is so transparently constructed one could never mistake it for something natural. That was not the case with Heart Song. Heart Song was unnerving in its imperfections. It was so close to what it attempted to mimic that it had almost ceased to be mere mimicry. Kazuki was anxious. What would happen when it was brought to life, and he would be forced to consider it, not as it, but as she? Do you know what name you want to give it? Yuichiro pondered, still fussing over the doll. Today was to be the fateful day. The fruits of the programming team's efforts during the last year and a half were finally going to pay off. At long last, they were going to bring the first test subject, to life. It was like something from Frankenstein, Kazuki mused. The heart song hadn't been crafted from dead bodies, just silicon, synthetic fibers, electrical chips, and wires. Heart song was more sanitary than its gothic horror counterpart. Cuter, too. Too cute. I'm not sure, to be honest. I've never been very good with names. You mean you've been working on this project for over a year and you still don't know? I'm not a family man, unlike you. I have no prior experience. It was a fair comment. Unlike Kazuki, Yuichiro didn't have children. He'd never been in the position of bestowing a name upon a new life form. Apart from maybe pet goldfish. That wasn't really the same. How did you decide on Rei's name anyway? It was Itsuki's idea. It's written with a character for elegance. I'd say that suits Rei perfectly. It's a shame Itsuki isn't here right now. I think women have more of a knack for names than men. If Itsuki was here, she'd say that's a generalization. Stop shirking your responsibility, Sato. Right. Yuichiro laughed again. Kazuki wondered whether it was a nervous tick. Being the one in charge of Heart Song's creation, he had more to lose than anybody else. If this was a failure, his reputation at Lyric would be in ruins. Lyric had poured a good deal of time and money into researching and creating Heart Song, and they wanted results. A failure to comply could have some rather nasty consequences. A name, huh? I thought I should worry about that after she's opened her eyes. That was a crucial difference between Yuichiro and Kazuki. Right from the beginning of the project, Yuichiro had always a touch stubbornly. Kazuki thought, referred to Heart Song as her, never it. Most parents start thinking of names before their child is born. I suppose, but most parents don't piece their children together with their own two hands. I'd have thought that would only encourage you to think of a suitable name. You built it yourself. Isn't Heart Song good enough? It was during the early stages, but look at all the progress you've made. Kazuki gestured toward the doll, still lying sprawled on the floor. It was naked, its limbs so white and pale they almost seemed to glow. It doesn't look like a Heart Song anymore. It looks like a human. Worryingly human. As such, I think it needs a human name. Alright. You can be awfully persistent about the strangest of things. Yuichiro smiled. I guess that comes from being a father. Names are important, right? Names shape how others perceive your children. And I thought you said Heart Song was like a child to you. That's right. She hasn't opened her eyes yet, but I really do love her. My beloved child. Yuichiro's fingers hovered over the electrical switchboard. He was examining gauges and making a few last-minute alterations, but his instructions to the programming team had been precise. There was no margin for error. They could not allow this to be a failure. He would not. Heart Song was going to open her eyes today. She was going to live. And when she came into this world and suddenly knew how to touch and taste and smell and think and talk and feel, what name would she go by? I know. What about Aiko? Alright, so I think that's where we're gonna leave it for this episode. But wow, Kazuki, I was expecting him to just straight up deny framing Yuichiro. So Yuichiro was the head programmer of Aiko, but Kazuki saw Aiko as a threat to Rei. I don't know if she was an idol yet. Maybe she wanted to be an idol. So yeah, Kazuki is the one who's been messing with the files, and he's also the one responsible for Aiko's malfunction, which I don't think anyone picked up on him being the culprit, because he is the head of the programming team now. I don't get it though. Why would Kazuki ruin and sabotage years of work just so his daughter can, have the spotlight, have the limelight to herself? Doesn't seem worth it to me. But I'm sure we'll find out in the next episode. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.